What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JohnCast. It is February 17th, 2020, which means we are coming fresh off of
the NBA All-Star Weekend.
That's true, and I love the NBA All-Star Weekend just because of how fun it is. One, it gives players a chance to rest, but two, it's super fun for the fans. The dunk contest, three-point contest, All-Star game, obviously, something I've been watching for years, and I'm looking forward to it every single year. What about you?
No, yeah, I love the NBA All-Star Weekend. I think this year was way better than past years.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
But I do love the NBA All-Star Weekend. The dunk contest is usually pretty solid. I do like the games because in games you're going to see a lot of really cool dunks, some fast-paced offense, and of course you're seeing the best players in the league.
That's true. Before we get into the more main events of the weekend, I want to go ahead and start talking about Team World versus Team USA. Team USA actually ended up beating Team World this weekend.
By a good amount.
Yeah, which is interesting to me because, to be honest, I think we might be, for the first time in NBA history, we might be for the first time in NBA history at a point where Team World is actually probably as good as Team USA. The teams are very evenly matched.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say all time, but I would say that they are very evenly matched this year. And quite frankly, there's some stars on that team that played in the actual NBA All-Star game, like Trae Young and Luka.
Yeah, I was interested to see that Miles Bridges actually ended up winning that MVP, which I get because Team USA won. But I do want to shout out my own guy, RJ Barrett from the New York Knicks, actually outshined Miles Bridges in every more points, more rebounds, more assists. Ended up losing the game. Sounds a lot like the Knicks, but he really did deserve that.
Yeah, I just want to say stats are everything, not wins and losses.
Stats are not everything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm proud of you, RJ, if you're listening. Good job, man.
It's so sad, man. These Knicks fans needs help. They need help, okay? If you're a Knicks fan, I am so sorry that you're even still a fan.
I have to take what I can get.
I know. Trust me, I'm well
aware. When Porzingis won the skills challenge, I was over the moon, man.
Yeah,
I was like, a Knicks
traded.
Player won something, and then everything went down from there.
I said that boy got traded.
He did.
So
and
fast.
The Mavs looking good. So I want to go ahead and move into All-Star Saturday night. The three-point contest was basically what I would expect from a three-point contest. Nothing like super crazy happened. Buddy Hield ended up winning it, which probably would not have been my pick to win that. But
Sacramento doesn't get much love at all, and for good reason.
Yeah.
But I would say, I did not see the Buddy Hield win coming.
Yeah.
And I like Buddy Hield, too. I'm an Oklahoma fan, guys.
Yeah.
Like, that was my boy a couple years ago. Yeah, I just didn't see it coming.
You remember when he came into the league and people were actually comparing him to Steph Curry?
I do.
And saying, honestly, he could be the next Steph.
Yeah,
and
no. For a record, though, as an Oklahoma fan, I never said that. Just like with Trae Young, I do think Trae Young could be potentially, though.
Possibly.
Like in-game. He's nasty in-game. But I'd like to say 2 Oklahoma basketball players as finalists in that three-point competition, man. You know how we produce them down here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's the equivalent of New York Knicks basketball.
Okay, well, I want to go ahead and start talking about the dunk contest. Super interesting. I was able to watch a lot of parts of this dunk contest and then watch the highlights after as well. But it was a close dunk contest, and I will say probably, in my opinion, one of the better dunk contests we've had, especially since the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine dunk contest.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. This year's was very competitive. Having to go 4 different dunks that were just made up at the end in the finals of that competition, very impressive. How do you feel about who won, though? That's the real question.
So I'm not going to lie. Derrick Jones Jr. is possibly the best dunker in the NBA. But I will say that I think his dunks are probably more impressive in-game. Like, I think he's the best, in-game dunker we have. But Aaron Gordon, I feel like, was built, literally created to excel in the dunk contest. And I truly think he should have won this one.
Oh, 100%. That man should have won it. And let's be honest, there's a video going around that shows every dunk that Derrick Jones did.
Yeah.
That man went between the legs every single time. Super predictable. I don't feel like that was necessarily deserving of the win. Incredible dunker, incredible guy in game. And listen, I think on a year when Aaron Gordon's not in there, he probably wins that hands down very easily. I mean, I don't feel like any of the other competition could even touch Aaron Gordon or Derrick Jones. But let's be honest, between those two, Aaron Gordon got robbed.
Aaron
That
Gordon
man
got robbed. And I will say this is the second time. I don't know if you were a believer in this, but I truthfully 100% believed he should have beat Zach LaVine. What did you think?
No, I actually agreed with that assessment too. I think Aaron Gordon does a whole bunch of just a variety of dunks, right? He does a variety of dunks, a whole bunch of interesting ones that we've never really thought of. I think he's very creative in the way he does it. But for whatever reason, that dude cannot seem to win in the last few rounds in that competition. Well, and here's my thing. Some of those dunks, even with the Zach LaVine one, that dude had some crazy dunks in his first 2 or 3 dunks.
Yeah, no, he did.
Hey, man, you're going to beat those people in the first couple rounds. Save those dunks for the end. And then secondly, he got beat against Zach LaVine, right? After in the finals, after a couple of dunks that he had to create on the spot. You would think after that, though, he would learn, hey, I need to have 3, 4, 5 more dunks in my pocket that are worth 50s. So if something happens, I'm not getting told by someone in the audience what to do. Because someone in the audience told him, hey, you should jump over Taco Falls.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
Fall, yeah.
So I mean that blows my mind, man. You should know.
And the fact that he did it too.
Yeah.
What do you think about that dunk? So like honestly, that dunk, he obviously had great dunks that entire contest.
Yeah.
Amazing dunks. But that dunk is what made me think, yeah, he's got to win it off this one. He just jumped over a 7'5" guy.
Yeah, that's
in Taco Fall.
Extreme. Is he 7'5" or 7'7"? I thought he was 7'7".
I think he's 7'5". I'm not sure.
Is he 7'5"? Okay. But anyway, it's incredibly impressive.
It's insane.
I mean, that might be the tallest person ever jumped over in an NBA dunk competition. Yeah. Now, do I think could it have been cleaner? I think that's the word.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think
that's actually probably
what
costed him a little bit. Was that it wasn't as clean. It kind of looks like he pushes off. I don't think he is, but I think it looks like he's doing it.
Yeah, it's because and when he came down, Taco Fall's head came down a little bit.
Yeah.
And when his head came down, that's what lost it a little bit for me. If Taco Fall was standing that entire time, didn't move, and Aaron Gordon just cleanly jumps over him, clears him, I think he wins it.
Well, and I wonder, too, how much of the head movement was Aaron Gordon versus Taco.
Yeah.
Just being a little nervous, because it looked like he was nervous as he was
It's probably a nerve-wracking thing having a huge guy jump over you 100%. When you're 7'5".
Well, and you're not expecting it. It's never really been done. How do you prepare yourself mentally for that? Hey, everybody in the stadium, millions of people watching online, watching TV, they all want this dunk right now. So I've got to do this. So you're feeling the peer pressure, but you're not sure if this dude's even going to make it over you.
Yeah.
That's got to be a little nerve-wracking. So I wonder how much of that was really him trying to protect himself too.
Yeah.
But I do think it was definitely better than Derrick Jones's dunk. No way that should have beat.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that he has never won a dunk contest when, in my opinion, he has probably 3 of the best dunk contest dunks I've ever seen.
Oh, 100%. He's incredible.
First one when not last year, the last time he was in the dunk contest, he has the mascot out there. He has the Magic mascot out there on a hoverboard.
Hoverboard spinning.
He has the guy spinning and then runs up, cradles it, 360 dunk. That dunk blew my mind. I stood up. I was watching in my living room when that happened by myself. And for you to get super hype when you're by yourself and jump up off the couch, it has to be
takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I jumped up and yelled when he pulled it off because the timing for that, super underrated how hard that is.
Impeccable.
Yep.
Impeccable.
Second dunk, and I bet you know which one I'm about to say.
Yeah.
When he jumps over the mascot
100%.
and is basically
Underneath.
seated in the air.
Yeah.
His legs 7 feet in the air.
90-degree angle. He goes underneath the legs.
And dunks. And that dunk I had the same reaction.
See, to me, a dunk like that needs to be saved for the final round.
Yeah.
Because that is the kind of dunk that will win dunk competitions.
No, yeah. It was over.
I mean, think about that. The 2 dunks you just listed, though, were not his finals dunks. And we're talking possibly 3 best dunks that he's had.
Well, it's because you're not planning.
You're not planning, but I think
you're not planning for it to go that far
though.
out. Because usually it's like you do the rounds, and by the end of the rounds there's a winner. But in his 2 cases, there hasn't been a clear winner
Absolutely.
at the end.
But I think too. I think going in, first round, second round, you can kind of get by with some 49s.
Yeah.
48s, potentially.
Yeah.
But I think once you get into those final 2 rounds, that's when you save your big 50s. Because if you're doing that, the judges have something better to compare it towards, right?
Yeah.
You're going, oh, okay, I didn't just give everybody 50s. And so now I'm thinking, okay, I've given him some 48s, some 49s. Whoa, that is a 50. Does that make sense? And I think that would help even the judge's case go, yeah, no, he clearly is outdoing whoever he's playing. But he said he's not going to do it anymore.
I know. That was super sad to hear that he said he's retiring just because he should have 2 trophies. And I agree with him. He should.
I bet you he'll come back, though.
Maybe.
I think he will.
We'll see.
There's a couple of superstars that have said in the past, I'll never go back to that. But they always do.
And it would be a great redemption story, too. He
100%.
loses 2 that he probably should have won, comes back and finally wins.
Yeah.
It's not nearly to the same level, but like when LeBron won his first his championship, it was like, it's about time I won this. Like that's kind of what it would feel like.
Absolutely. And I think it'd be a good way for him to kind of help his story out in the NBA and leave his mark on the NBA.
Yeah.
Playing with the Orlando Magic is not doing it for him.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I want to go ahead and get into the All-Star Game, the main event of the weekend. It's actually the event I'm most excited for. Some people are most excited for the dunk contest or the three-point contest. But the game is
the least
usually
excited
what gets me.
is the celebrity game. That's a joke.
Celebrity game.
I have to say it's pretty funny though when Stephen A got teed up.
Yeah. Honestly, when Kevin Hart was in the celebrity games, I enjoyed him. Kevin Hart made him funny.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a funny dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's his job.
Fair enough.
But anyway.
Celebrity game. I mean, not celebrity game.
All-Star game. Let's get into it. So what did you think about the new format they had where it's so the first 3 quarters are basically you have to win that quarter. And then whoever wins that quarter gets money for their foundation, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the 3rd quarter, you add up the cumulative score, add 24 points to that in honor of Kobe Bryant, who recently passed. And whoever hits that number first, that's who wins the game. What do you think about that new format?
So I think when it comes to the first 3 quarters, right?
Yeah.
When it goes to whoever wins the quarter, you get money towards whatever your charity or foundation is. I like that. I think that's really cool. I think it's something special and unique the NBA will keep doing. I think it was very cool that they honored Kobe Bryant. So add 24 points at the end of the game. You know, it is what it is. You win, right? But I will say, I think that brought out a lot of competitiveness. And realistically, too, you've got players playing for their foundations. So you're looking at it, and these guys want to win. They want to have money for that kind of stuff because they are great guys. And so when you think about this, I think that's what a lot of these little 1% leads to the NBA All-Star Game being extremely, extremely competitive. And I think that's what you'll see over a period of time if they continue to adopt this. Now, do I think they'll do the 24-point thing next year? I think that's the question. I'm not sure. They may go ahead and keep the same formatting, though, because I think it could be beneficial. I think it genuinely could be beneficial to keep the All-Star Game very competitive because people have responded well to the competitiveness that they have seen from this All-Star Game. And so I think it's definitely worth potentially trying out.
Yeah. So in the last almost decade, the All-Star Game has not been competitive. It's been basically give it to whoever wants to dunk the ball or whoever wants to shoot a 3 and give them a lane. And if you give them like the slightest bit of resistance and if they get past that, then they can dunk the ball. And they were seeing that viewer and audience attendance and TV ratings were going down because of the lack of competitiveness. And Adam Silver wanted to constitute that change, which is why in the last couple of years he started doing the draft and things like that, which have been great for America to watch.
Absolutely. Plus, get some drama in those drafts.
Oh yeah,
man.
A little bit of the drama from Giannis calling out Harden. I want a guy that can pass the ball.
Much appreciated that. I enjoyed that so much this All-Star break.
Another thing that was interesting, so after he said that in the draft, that he wants a player that will pass the ball, after the game, he said his offensive plan was to just go at whoever Harden was guarding. And it makes me wonder, was that like an actual beef or?
No, that's actual beef. Let's not get it twisted. And I think that is perfect for what the NBA needs. Because think about it. The NBA breeds stars. Yeah. Stars have drama involved with them in some way, shape, or form. I love it. I think it's hilarious. And quite honestly, I think it'll translate over to the regular season as we move forward and push towards playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really actually liked this format of the All-Star Game. The first 3 quarters, I think, were slightly still not very competitive. It was a lot of dunks. I remember they put up a stat on the TV in the 4th quarter. It said dunks in the first 3 quarters, 49. Dunks in the 4th quarter, 1. So you could tell
they're playing defense.
Yeah, and so only in the 4th quarter did they play defense. And I wish it was like that fourth quarter for all 4 quarters.
Yeah, could you imagine if it was like almost like a game of 21, except it was 4 quarters of 21, or 24, right? Let's take Kobe's number, 24. All of a sudden, you've got guys every possession going down there because they only have 24 points they can score.
Yeah,
and these guys are trying to leave a mark on their all-star legacy, all kinds of stuff. That would be a competitive game. Now, I don't think the NBA would ever do that, nor do they necessarily have a reason to do that because they need this game to last a long time for purposes of viewership, money, different things like that. But I think if they were to adopt that kind of style, any way to make it more competitive, I think works. And I don't ever think, for instance, we'll ever see necessarily James Harden and Giannis work together because of what was said. And I think that is a great thing because we have so much in today's NBA. We have people just joining teams to win championships and stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. Do whatever you want. I mean, it's a free country. If you're a free agency, if you're a free agent or something like that, go for it. Go join teams, win championships. That's fine. But back in the old day, what made the NBA so competitive was everybody wanted to do it
for their team.
By themselves, or if they would get a couple pieces together, or they would draft a couple pieces, like Jordan, Pippen, some other guys. So I'm not saying these super teams didn't sort of exist back in the day, but you didn't see,
the player movement.
Yeah, you didn't see Larry Bird leave the Celtics to go play with the Lakers and just win championships on top of championships. You saw him try to defend his name, defend the Celtics there. And I think to some degree in today's NBA, you don't necessarily see that a whole bunch. You just see people leave teams, go to other teams just to win championships. And so with this year, the NBA is more equal because we don't tend to have super teams. It's more equal, and I don't know if you'll ever see Harden and Giannis work together because of things like that. And I think that's great, though. But I think that's great. That's good. That's what we need. It's competitiveness.
Yeah, I loved how competitive that fourth quarter actually got, and it really brought a street ball, outdoor kind of vibe to it.
100%.
Knowing that I could hit this shot and call game right here, or I could miss it and you could have a chance to call game on the other side.
Yeah, because LeBron James was calling game at the free throw line. I mean, he's walking down court with his hands up like, come on, that's game. But, he misses the free throw.
He missed that first free throw.
Everybody got a little scared there, but you know what I'm saying? Like that, I agree with you. That is so important.
And it has a chance to be in crazy dramatic fashion. A free throw, not the most dramatic way to end the game.
No.
But a few possessions before that, LeBron actually pulls up from
half court,
from 40 feet away.
Yeah,
it was, and to try and end the game right there. And you don't usually see that from LeBron. He's like, I will always make the right play at the right time kind of guy.
Yeah.
But you could tell he was trying to do it and make a huge show out of it, which is what All-Star Weekend's about, so I'm not mad at it.
But say he hits one of those shots, that's legendary.
If he hits that shot to end the game for Kobe, it's over.
He wins MVP.
Oh, yeah.
100%. I don't care about any of the other statistics or the fact that Kawhi won it. He hits that shot, game over, MVP goes to LeBron, just because of the general legacy that Kobe carries too. I mean, he was that game-ending, give me the shot at the end of the game. He has one of his most famous buzzer beaters is from like that range as he's fading away with somebody on him.
Yep.
That would have been dirty. That would have been really cool to see. So.
And speaking of that, it was cool to see them name the MVP award after Kobe Bryant, the Kobe Bryant Award, and give it to Kawhi.
Deserved.
Yep.
Much deserved.
I think that was a good way to do it. And it was cool to see Kawhi win it and talk about what that meant to him and say that this was for Kobe and that's why he played that game. So that was really cool to see.
No,
I know we're going to wrap up here, but before we do, I just want to say Team Giannis surprised people way more than they thought they would because how trash did he get after drafting that team the way he did?
Tons of it.
So much. They were like, that's maybe the worst All-Star team I've ever seen. Team LeBron will murder them. Which it looked like they made for a while, but it was an even game. It was an even game to the last second.
But I also think, too, we're not talking about being competitive the entire game necessarily the whole time. If you were to have two teams exactly like this that had to play 60-something games and they had to play each other so much amount of times, I think we would see the Team LeBron over a period of time would absolutely dominate.
I'm sure they would.
I mean, and not to discredit anything that Giannis does. I mean, keep in mind, he had some stacked people. They wouldn't be in the All-Star game if it wasn't for the fact that they were good. Yeah. You don't put sucky people in the All-Star game. I mean, there are fan favorites and different things. There's different people that get in and different qualifications to get them in. But quite frankly, I think over a period of time, if they were in a season, I think you would see Team LeBron come to dominate Team Giannis. But at the same time, too, you're looking at guys that they're used to being the man on the team.
That's true.
And so it's hard to win with, and that's why you don't ever see it, because these guys could pull it off. They could put 3 or 4 guys on a team if they were all willing to take some pay cuts.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah, but I loved it. I loved the All-Star Weekend. I love that game, that format, everything. I think that the All-Star Weekend is trending in an upwards way, and we could see a lot of good things.
A good way.
Yeah, in a great way. And to see like the new generation of people, the Donovan Mitchells, Ben Simmons, Trae Young, Lukas of the world, kind of starting to mesh with the LeBron, Westbrook, Hardens.
Yeah, kind of like a passing of the torch thing.
It's like we see
over
who's
the
going
next
to be
couple
the
years.
All-Stars for the next few years.
Yeah.
And that's been cool.
I
So
agree. I
we
like
know
that.
that the NBA is in good hands. But that's all the time we have for today. So thank you so much for joining us on the JohnCast. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages. Thanks for joining us at the JohnCast.